Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, nestled between rolling hills and sparkling rivers, there was a cozy little house. In this house lived a family of 5 little hedgehogs who were known throughout the land for their prickly exteriors and their even pricklier tempers. One day, while exploring the garden outside their house, the 5 little hedgehogs stumbled upon a patch of the most beautiful flowers they had ever seen. The petals were soft and velvety, and the colors were as vibrant as the rainbow. Immediately, the little hedgehogs began to argue over who would get to pick the flower. "It should be me," said the eldest. "I saw it first." "No, it's my turn," said the second. "That's not fair," cried the third. The fourth and fifth just kept quiet, hoping that one of the others would get the flower so that they could enjoy its beauty. But the more the siblings argued, the more upset they became. Their angry hisses echoed through the garden, startling a bluebird that had been perched on a nearby fence. The bluebird, who was known throughout the land for her wisdom, couldn't help but take flight and land on top of the little house where the hedgehogs lived. She cleared her throat and said in her most soothing voice, "Little hedgehogs, why are you making so much noise? Can't you see that you're upsetting the flowers?" The 5 little hedgehogs looked up at the bluebird and mumbled, "We can't decide who gets to pick this flower. We're going to keep arguing until one of us gets it." The bluebird listened patiently and then said, "Argue all you want, but I think you will find that there's only one way to stop arguing, and that's to share. Sharing isn't always easy, but it's always the kindest way to go." With that, the bluebird took flight and disappeared into the clouds. The 5 little hedgehogs looked at each other and then back at the flowers. They knew the bluebird was right, but sharing didn't seem possible. Finally, the eldest hedgehog sighed and said, "All right, let's figure this out. This flower has 6 petals, and since there are 5 of us, we can each pick 2 petals and we'll have 1 left over." The other little hedgehogs loved this idea, and they all carefully picked 2 petals each. And sure enough, there was 1 petal left over. They looked around to see who would pick the last petal, and it ended up being the littlest hedgehog of them all. He was so happy to finally have a flower all to himself. The 5 little hedgehogs took their flowers and ran back to the house. They proudly showed their mother the beautiful colors, and she was so happy that they had finally stopped arguing. As the sun began to set, the 5 little hedgehogs snuggled together in their beds. The eldest whispered, "I'm so glad we have these flowers. It reminds me that even when we can't agree, we can always find a way to be kind to each other." The other little hedgehogs nodded, and soon they were all fast asleep. And that's all for our bedtime story today. Before we go, remember to share this story with your friends so they can learn how to be kind to each other. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time for another wonderful adventure. Bye-bye.